Alright, guys, so where is Little Man? Ready for a bit more challenge? Don't think it'll go easy on you just because you're a beginner. Let's race. Let's do this. You won! Great race. I've got to admit, this is kind of fun. Nina! Hey, Dylan. What about that thing you just saw? Just before the side of Clara's crash? Wait, you're back already? Turns out Terry had a beat-up moped in the back of his truck, so I just borrowed it for a bit. But that's not important right now. That thing you saw, like a bump at the side of the road, yeah? It's a waylaid wheel from a car, complete with a flat tire. You found that by the side of the track? That's right. It was probably invisible because of the thawing snow. It has been a bit warmer these past couple of days. Could this be the wheel that was missing from Clara's crashed car? I don't think so. We found this before the crash site, and the track goes downhill. Before the... What is it, Ren? Though the track is downhill on the whole, the elevation varies. There's actually a dip on the straight before the crash site. So you're saying this could have rolled back up the track. I'm just saying it's possible. Maybe it came off, struck a tree, and then rolled to where you found it. Okay, alternative theory. This might have been whatever Jocelyn struck on the road to cause an impact. Whoa, you're right. It really could be. Good thinking, Dylan. The planets align sometimes. You could be right. Can I have a closer look? The bolts look like they've been shorn off in some kind of accident. But something's just not right about this wheel. Like what? I'm not sure. Can I borrow this from you guys? I'll return it. I just want more time to study it. No problem. You're a vehicle expert after all. Now what? I guess we keep racing? If we're going team by team, the Queen of Diamonds would be next. Now let's get to it. Oh my goodness. I might just skip these races and just show you like the story parts. Queen of Diamonds. Are you the Queen of Diamonds? Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Oh my gosh. So I have to go from Jack to Queen to King. What? Concerned to race. Gotta warn you though, no one defeats my belief or technique. Yeah, I'm really glad that developers decided to have like a kind of auto play type of deal. Maybe, but you have a strong spirit. Do you mind if I ask you about the other night now? Shoot. You seem to, I don't know, flinch. When it was mentioned that Clara got to the mountain quite late. Well, it's nothing really. Come on, you must have had a reason, no matter how tenuous. Okay, it's really just a tiny thing. Clara has my copy of Dragon Fantasy: The Revenge on DVD. I've seen the movie, it's pretty good, but what does that have to do with anything? I wanted to get it back on the night Clara died, so I tried to call her. I tried multiple times from around 6 through to when I left for the mountain at 7:30. There was no answer. I just assumed she was busy. Not sure what to say about that. Anything we find which can help us build up a picture of Clara's movements might come in handy at that point. Thanks. Don't mention it, though you'll have to race the King of Diamonds next, and be warned, it's no pushover. Hello. You again. So you're the one that's been rifling through the rest of Dancing Diamonds? An outsider like you? Not quite sure how to respond to that, but yeah, be the Jack and Queen. Useless. He seems angry. Maybe I can goad him? You think you could do better? You're all racing in the same car. Don't you know anything? All of us, I mean each team chooses a car and we all use the same one. It would have been obvious if you'd been paying attention. At least nearly all of us. I guess I noticed, but I hadn't really thought about it. Why is that? Homologation? Or at least that's not the proper word, but it's the term we use. Homologation. There are rules, etiquette, but being an outsider, you would know about that, would you? Outsider or not, I want to know what you guys were arguing about earlier. Not gonna happen. Well then, if you don't listen to me now, maybe you will once I outrank you. Ha! Good one. Enjoy the sight of my taillights. Let's go. Holy shit. You okay? I'm just worried about Keisuke and the others. I've been a bit of a tool all evening. As soon as someone who has a job where I see a lot of bereavement and worry, you're coping better than anyone. Just try not to get so personal with your retorts, maybe. I'm sorry. So, the argument? Yeah, it all started a few weeks ago. Keisuke was approached by an anonymous would-be benefactor who wanted to invest in a Dancing Diamonds team. That sponsor? They offered you guys a chance to be a professional motorsport team? That's probably the simplest way of putting it. So what happened? We rejected it, of course. Dancing Diamonds run free. We're not sellouts. Keisuke took some time to think it over, but in the end, we refused. But ever since then, things have been weird. Weird. Tense, I guess. People have had meetings. Quiet meetings. They say they're not coming out to the spire one evening like they're going to the gym. But you look online, and they're not at the gym. They're with some of the others. It's about trust. That's right. Ever since that damn offer. But this is just kind of our internal drama. Maybe. Maybe not. Buyout refusal. Nina! What? Ryoko, just what do you think you're doing? My job? Don't give me that. Oh god. Thinking you're a racer just because you learned a thing or two from the diamonds. This is so you. And you don't even realize it. With the what now? Hey Nina, it's not. Zip it, goggle boy. You got no lines in this play. Okay, that's enough. I'm only racing because I need to find out more to support the case. Whatever this is, I've got no time for it. You want a face, huh? Fine. Go get that jalopy you call a racing car. Then you'll just see just how to your death you are. Oh, really? Okay. I don't know why, the game decided I would lose. Because, I didn't get, like, any hint. And, not only that, the game didn't even allow me to save or anything. Damn! Can't believe you dredged that up after all this time. You expect me to apologize? Because you'll go home disappointed. Don't drag me into this whole drama you racers have going on. Who told you about that? Was it Hank? I have my sources. Huh, as if it matters. Saw the little falling out earlier, did you? Some of the people on this mountain just don't get it. You can't resist change. It's like the tides. Stand against it and you just get washed away. What? I thought maybe Clara would come around eventually. The aces brought their argument out onto the track, and now Clara's gone. And mark my words, I'll make them pay for that. Ryoko. I don't know, man. Ryoko. I'm not the only one who hasn't changed. That was revealing. I had no idea you were a lesbian. I'm not! I don't know why, but that made me laugh. And to be honest, I wasn't even looking at the screen because I was eating. And just like pressing the keyboard to just move on. Seriously, Dylan? Why? That's oversimplifying it, but if I just say yes, can we move on from this discussion? I guess I should have realized. I mean, you talk about Anya all the time. Oh, really, Dylan? What did I say? I know you're walking through a bit of a minefield here, but do you have to step on every single mine? Anya and I were close, but not in that way. Oh. So why did you and Ryoko, you know, break up? You've probably seen enough now to work it out for yourself. We only dated for 3 months. Oh, okay, so it's a legit, okay. I mean, I'm bisexual myself, so yeah. You're cool with me, Nina, no worries. About 2 months in, I started working for Miller Defense and Law. It was taking up all my time. Anya and I were working on my first few cases. It was so exciting. Was Ryoko jealous? Did she maybe think? No. Ryoko isn't that shallow. But in a way, kinda. She was jealous of my new job, my new life. After a month, it came to a head, and we had a huge fight. She said I changed, like, under Anya's supervision. I was becoming a different person. And she didn't like that person. I mean, I've noticed you talk about Anya a lot, like, when you're working. Maybe, but isn't that just, I don't know, normal? She taught me so much about how to be a successful attorney. Ryoko asked me to make a choice, but she just couldn't accept that this is who I am. You say that like you were born to be a lawyer. Born? No. Made. By someone who helped me when no one else would. So, you dumped Ryoko? No one dumped anyone. We had an adult conversation where you dumped her. It wasn't like that. Believe me, it's nearly always like that for someone. Huh. Maybe you're right. Nina, still nothing decisive. What? We found out a lot about the racers and this infighting of theirs. That kind of makes the aces look worse, not better. Even so... Holy shit. Everyone's gone home for the night. I'm not sure as freezing to death out here will help the aces. You're right. Okay, let's get in the car and head back to the office. Why is this here, though? Wait. Oh my gosh, we can... What does the profile say? I just noticed that this is in alphabetical order. Victim's girlfriend. Holy shit. Wait. Where's the picture? Holy shit. Where's the picture, guys? Oh my gosh. With Yuroko. Shit. Oh my gosh, I feel really bad. Oh my god. Change race mode. Nah. Dina, do you hear that? What? Sounds like a car. Nah, dude, that's not a car. That's a limo. At this hour? Looks like we're not the only ones still here. Wasn't that obvious? Think this might be important? Maybe we can sneak over there. Who could he possibly be meeting? What the? Do I? That person? Do I know her? Mr. Gearson. You called me, so I'm here. What do you want? Think she's the person who's offering to make the teams legit? I can't hear what they're saying. Do you want to get closer? Something about her, I don't... Psst, Nina! Sorry, was lost in thought for a second. Closer. Maybe. How could you? You heartless sociopath. Her body's barely cold and... Very well, I can see that now is not the proper time. We'll be in touch. Nina, are you okay? I don't know. You look wired. You're practically trembling. He's right. My legs feel like jelly. What's wrong? You look as though you've seen a ghost. What if I told you that I had? Nina, you're kind of freaking me out. Are you okay? No. Is it the victim of Anya's case? It's freezing out here. Give me your keys. I'll drive us back to the office. Holy shit. Come on, game. Let me play. God dang it. This is useless. I've got a trial tomorrow. I need to sleep. I just can't figure out who she is, but it feels like I should know. I don't know enough to look her up, and can't describe her well enough to ask the police. Anya said I shouldn't trust them, so I should be careful. There's someone I can ask when it's an unanswerable question. What did I say last time? Yeah, that was it. I need to use a payphone in the convenience store. Where's the payphone? Here it is. What was it again? 555-548-39473. How would you even, like, memorize that? They said to prank them, so I guess now I head to the warehouse. Oh, shit. Jesus, 4:27 a.m. Livewire, are you here? It must be somewhere. Hello again, Miss Aquila. I've come to talk. I wonder when I might see you again. I hear you're becoming quite the illegal street racer. Tell me, is it exhilarating? More like terrifying. Excuse me. I assume you're not here to ask about racing tips. No. Some time ago you allowed me to borrow a crucial piece of evidence to exonerate Derry Scrub. The Black Lily. That's right. When I returned it, you said I could call on you if I ever needed to. Correct. In that case, I have some unanswerable questions. Tonight, up at the Rostro Spire, there was a woman. That is not unusual. Let me finish! This woman, she was talking to the King of Spades about something. Part of me suspects she's related somehow to how the teams have been approached by a wealthy sponsor. She was wearing a bespoke suit, and I think she was Japanese. Why did you come to ask me this? Her mannerisms, her eyes, there was a coldness to them, and when she appeared, it was like I had seen a ghost. You know this person? That's just it! I feel like I do. Your memory of her is dim. It's like a shadow of a memory, wrapped in a feeling. In a way, when I picture her face, it's like I can picture her more clearly than anyone else I've ever known. More than Anya, more than Dylan. I guess the closest comparisons I have are the loose memories of my parents. But just as my mind reaches for her, the memory fizzles out, like ink washing down a drain. I see. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I would ask you about her. I feel you may have asked me a question that only you can answer. Damn! Well, I suppose it was worth a try. But if I am to suggest... Before the game is up, a true master uses every piece on the board, from the lowliest pawn to the mighty queen. Watch for long enough, and perhaps you will identify this piece by its movements. I would be patient. Not quite the answer I was looking for. The prudent moves seldom are. I have some unanswerable questions. Have you been following the events of Rostro Ace's trial? Of course you have. Nothing in this case makes sense. Clara was behind, then in front, then dead. And the motives to cause her to lose a race are piling up. You are losing sight of the problem, Miss Aquila. Above the pieces on the board is the hand that moves them. That hand is connected to the player, and those moves are an extension of their strategy. When a player confronts another, they play. If the strategy of a player is known beforehand, the game is lost before it has even begun. One of these days, a straight answer would be nice. I have some unanswerable questions. Before it has begun? Indeed. The true chess master has a strategy which is flexible and adapts to changing circumstances. You are struggling because I lack the evidence to flip my assumptions. I know. I'm not Anya. She was always better at that. Wrong. What? A novice player may imitate the moves of a grandmaster, but they cannot claim to be a master themselves. Rather, they are just skilled in mimicry, like some sort of imposter. Very good, Miss Aquila. An imposter may be very convincing, but even if they take their master's hat and cloak, they'll just look all the more foolish when they are unmasked. You sound just like Ryoko. You're suggesting I'm imitating Anya and that won't work this time. Is that it? I'm simply talking about chess. You know, I came here looking for answers and you've only given me questions. Then I will leave you with one more. The first move in this particular match. Do you know when it was? first move. Does he mean the event that started all this? That was Clara's death. I mean, I guess I was nearby. Yeah, at least I think so. I was at Rostro Vista parking lot around the time Clara died. Really? Are you certain? The first move. Okay. I think Clara has been dead for longer than what we're made to believe, and that there was someone else pretending to be her. But I've been thinking this. Hold on, it's the Gorditos time. There was someone that made a statement of how Clara's driving was unusual. It's weird though. Did you go somewhere last night? Oh, about that. I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk around the block. Nina, are you okay? Last night, I don't think I've ever seen you so shaken up. It's fine, really. I heard you mumbling in your sleep, something about whether you knew that person. Did you work out who it was? No, but maybe it will come to me. Either way, we've got a job to do. Okay, if you want to talk about it. Thanks. You ready for court? Good to go, boss. Let's get to the courthouse. So anyways, the statement is this. I've been thinking since that. Boom, boom, boom. Great, looks like Ren got here on time. Hey Ren, what up? That's my last time? That'd be great, Ren. So what's the plan? The first move. I was about to ask the same, Nina. Hey, Space Cadet. Sorry, I was lost in thought there for a sec. What's the plan? I think... Okay, we need to accept something. We don't know for certain how Clara died. Seems like that's stating the obvious. No, not just us three. I'm not sure anyone knows. As far as we're aware, there's no direct evidence which proves a theory. Isn't that bad? Not necessarily. It means that Chad probably doesn't have definitive evidence either. I think I'm starting to get it. Our goal today is to filibuster. We need to be economical. We dispute Chad's witnesses with an aim to securing another day investigation. Got it? Got it. Okay, boss. Filibuster. Hello again, Miss Aquila. Chad. I've heard you've taken to drifting. Only when the mood suits me. Really? Carefully don't drift right off course. Yeah, well, maybe. Excuse me. Man, I'm really sore, like my throat. Well, does he always take time? What? How does he always time those barbs just before Tawny walks in? It's like a gift or something. All rise for the Honorable Judge Tawny. Please be seated. Excuse me. We are here to resume the trial of the three defendants. Keisuke Akagi, also known as the Ace of Diamonds, Hank Castle, also known as the Ace of Hearts, and Jocelyn Montefiore, also known as the Ace of Clubs. These individuals were involved in actions that which led to the death of Clara Mass, a wealthy socialite, also known as the Ace of Spades. At the first trial day, it was agreed that the prosecution would yield the charge of murder in the first degree. The defendants do not stand accused of premeditated murder. However, they remain accused of several offenses, namely murder by reckless endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, as well as murder in the second degree. Your Honor, to be clear, it is still my personal opinion that one of the defendants is guilty of first-degree murder. However, it is true that 2 days ago the opposing bench suggested that there was no direct evidence of this. It is therefore the opinion of the prosecution that a non-premeditated murder may have taken place. Non-premeditated? They're saying that the prosecution still believes that Clara was killed on purpose, so maybe the murder was a snap decision in the moment. Though Chad's continued belief that there was a premeditated murder is troubling. Much as I rarely agree with him, Chad has good instincts. Why does he still believe a first-degree murder took place? We are choosing to pursue a charge of murder in the second degree on that basis. Regardless, I am confident of one thing. Before the end of today, the defendants will be found guilty of at least one of the charges. I'd like to continue, Miss Aquila. Please do, Your Honor. Mr. Hawk, please restate the prosecution's case immediately. Your Honor, whilst our earlier pieces of evidence do not sway the court, it remains that Clara Mass is dead. as she died during an illegal street race with the 3 defendants. We believe that at least one of these 3 is directly responsible, as we are lacking in direct evidence, and we will instead discuss compelling motives for murder. We will do this via witness testimony. Compelling motives, huh? You must have something pretty good. Thank you, Mr. Hawk, for your summary of the case. Bailiff, please bring in the defendants. 3 of you are aware of the charges put forth by the prosecution. How do you plead? Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Mr. Castle, Mr. Akagi, Mrs. Montefiore, the court recognizes your pleas. Prosecution, bring forth your first witness. Okay, Chad, let's see who you call. The prosecution calls Hank Castle to the stand. Excuse me. Did he just call?
Order.
Me? Hank? But he's a defendant. Can Chad do that? Yes, he can. Being a defendant doesn't preclude you from being a witness. Still, what's your game, Chad? I refuse. Mr. Castle, you can't simply refuse. You don't have that right. You may take the 5th, in which you do in fact refuse to testify under oath, but as judge, I would advise you that this would not look favorably upon your collective case. Your Honor, may I interject? And as your representation, I strongly advise you to testify. If you ask me to stand against the other aces, I can't, I won't. Hank, remember, this is why Nina's here. It'll be okay. You're being asked to testify, not to accuse anyone. Fine, let's get it over with. Mr. Castle, can you please confirm your name and occupation as a witness? And Castle, during the day I work for a TV production company. Goodness. What sort of television? Well, right now we're working up a show for one of the streaming networks. It's based on a popular manga, a Japanese comic strip about a girl. They make shows about girls with magical powers, Your Honor. They're aimed at the preteen female demographic. Chad seemed to come out with that very quickly. At night, I'm the Ace of Hearts, leader of the Burning Hearts. One of the 4 established racing teams up at the Rostro Spire. Would you say then that you knew the victim, Clara Mass, quite well? We were friends. All of us were. Mr. Castle, is it no more true that you were rivals? I don't see the distinction. You frequently clash with each other out on the track. That's different. It's like conversation between equals. Someone like you wouldn't understand. Cute. I do understand one thing though. As Joker, Clara had the casting vote on all issues concerning the Rostro Racers as a group. That's true. And in that role, there was never any animosity between you? You're digging. Perhaps, but I'm an efficient excavator. There were no disagreements. No bad blood. What do you want me to say? We didn't always see eye to eye. We've been friends for years. Don't you ever fall out with any of your friends, Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Hawk. The prosecution would like Mr. Castle to make a statement about this topic. Namely, his relationship with Clara Mass. Of course. Mr. Castle, are you prepared to make a statement on this topic? Fine. Clara was a unique person, dynamic, strong-willed, but fair. She led, and we followed. Obviously, we had a rivalry. We were aces of rival teams. Sometimes there was animosity, but it was just the life we lead. Or led. Okay, of course. I think it's a skeleton in the closet. Hank's not gonna like it. We can only deal with problems when we know about them. I trust Hank, I trust all 3 of the aces, so whatever it is, it can't be as bad as Chad think it is. What is he thinking? Okay.
Hold it.
Dynamics. Strong-willed. She knew herself and knew her own mind. Clara might have been wealthy, but her fortune was self-made. Some kind of, I think, was aerospace components. I see. She had a lot of connections to people in and around Fletch City. Businesses, lobbyists, and the like. She was a natural socialite. All very interesting, but I question its relevance. True. Still, a bit of context never hurt anyone.
Hold it.
As Joker, she was your leader, correct? Yeah, Clara as Joker had the casting vote on everything. We're not a democracy, we're a meritocracy. Clara was the best, and she made the decisions, and we had to fall into line. There's just the way the Rostro Racers have always worked, ever since the 80s. I think I'm starting to see why Chad wanted Hank on the witness stand. Do you feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yes, I believe it's important. Very well, witness. Can you please add this to your statement? Fine. She was a Joker. That means she has the casting vote on all decisions. Obviously, we had a rivalry. We were aces of rival teams. Did you ever think that having team-based rivalries might cause a problem? Not really. The teams are a long-held tradition. In truth, though, it's just a professional rivalry. We all hang out regardless of team affiliation. Some people even date those from other teams.
Hold it.
What sort of animosity? Temporary fallouts, arguments, you know, this sort of thing. As long as I've been the Ace of Hearts, which is about 5 years now, it's always just been little bits of friction, never anything major. Are we pushing Hank a bit hard? We're trying to make sure the court doesn't find him guilty. True, but Chet obviously feels there's a motive buried under all this, and we need to find out what it is. We only work with what we know. Secrets don't help anyone. First of all, I don't remember if I saved or not. Team. The drift. Maybe this. Aces of rival teams.
Objection?
It's wrong.
Penalty.
Yeah. Wait.
Objection?
No.
Penalty. Hold it.
Objection!
Is this it? We'd had a falling out. We'd been approached by a sponsor Someone who wanted to invest in the Burning Hearts. I can't name them for contractual reasons, but who they are is really important. And what happened? Aren't you meant to be on my side? Answer the question, Mr. Castle. Clara, she just got in the way. She was so stubborn. Everyone on the mountain wanted to go legit. It was a chance to realize a dream. It offered us a future. But she had this romantic image of us staying independent, driving just for its own reward. It was infuriating. You couldn't collectively outvote her or something? That's not how it works. She was Joker and she made her decision. Meaning that to solve your collective problem, you need to convince her, defeat her, or remove her. Your Honor, that is baseless speculation. I agree. Mr. Hawk, please do not speculate. Apologies, Your Honor, but would it not be reasonable to suggest that this forms a basis for a motive? A motive which could apply universally to all three of the aces? Very well, witness. Can you please add this to your statement? Fine. Everyone on the mountain? I don't think so, but I do need to save. Shit, sorry.
Objection!
Chad? Yes, Aquila? You said earlier that you felt that if Clara had been their obstacle to accepting sponsorship, that this would have been a universal motive for the aces, correct? I did. Why? Mr. Castle, Hank, yes, you just said that everyone on the mountain wanted to go legit, but is that really true? It's not. Kiske, but you said that I said that the Diamonds wanted to explore avenues that could make us more legit, but I never agreed to selling out to a corporate sponsor. But the club said we had no strong feelings either way. We wanted to go with the majority. Order. Your Honor, the defense asserts that this is far from a universal motive shared among the aces. Mr. Castle could still have this motive. Objection. But we've been over this. Hank's car bore no damage, and there's no evidence he shunned Clara off the road. It's the same for all three of the defendants. We were willing to overlook that for a moment while you proposed a motive that hung upon collusion. But without that, this motive alone is flimsy at best. Mr. Hawk, I must agree with Miss Aquila in this instance. All three of these individuals were in the race, so if one had acted alone, it is reasonable to consider that the others would have seen this happening. If the possibility of collusion has been called into question, that renders this line of inquiry as null and void. Yes, Your Honor, that seems reasonable. Chad looks almost... It looks like he expected that. Not good. Very well, Your Honor. If this witness can provide a motive that suggests collusion, then I request that we move on to my next witness. One that has posed a far simpler, more insidious motive. Envy. What the hell? The prosecution calls. How could you, all of you? How can you just stand there and feign innocence? Ryoko, I don't want to hear it. We're just as confused as you are. Yeah, I'm sure. Your Honor. And you, I must protest. Willing to defend those murderers? Breathe, Nina. Don't antagonize her. Ryoko, I appreciate that the last few days have been really hard on you. Oh, come off it. You appreciate nothing. Stop pretending you understand how I feel. Fine. The three aces have hired me as their attorney, and I intend to do that job to the utmost of my ability. Even if they're a trio of murderers? This is going nowhere. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Aquila? The defense would like to ask the purpose of calling Ryoko Kamiyama to the stand. Hey, given that she did not witness the events firsthand, surely anything she has to say is hearsay? Stop it. Fair observation. Mr. Hawk? Your Honor, Miss Kamiyama is taking the stand as a character witness. She contacted the prosecutor's office of her own volition and insists that she be allowed to testify. Stop talking about me like I'm not standing right here. You three aces, you three losers, you just had to be on top. You had to win by any means. I'm not going to just let the three of you get away with it. Why is it you all went into that race with something to lose? What? Yet somehow, I lost the most. She really is hurting. I can hear it in her voice. Be that as it may, to get these proceedings back on track, please state your name and occupation for the record. I'm Ryoko Kamiyama, also known as the Queen of Hearts. I work as a graphic designer for a small independent firm. And you've been in the street racing group for some time? Over a year. I see. Did Did you know the victim? Yes, extremely well. Psst, Nina. You think Ryoko and Clara were dating, right? Why doesn't Ryoko just say that? I know Ryoko enough to know that she's out, but maybe Clara wasn't. Oh, I get it. Miss Aquila, do you have something to add? No, Your Honor. Miss Kamiyama, how did you come to be involved in the night in question? I was up at the mountain on the night Clara died, just as usual as part of the Burning Hearts team. In fact, Take your time. The race had gone on too long. People started to wonder why. I decided I'd go investigate, but I ran into Trey Gearson, who missed the start of the race. Then, he said that Marco had called the police. Marco was always meddling. I was worried he was trying to disrupt the race to get this perfect photograph. Trey and I decided to drive down the court to see what had happened. We rounded a corner and saw those three. The defendants? Yes. They were standing over Clara's. Ryoko. Over Clara's body. I see. Then what happened? We argued. Trey and I told those three to back off until the police came. That was when I checked for a pulse. I touched her neck, and she was ice cold. Goodness, that soon? Yeah. It was particularly cold that evening, and the body was lying on an icy road. As soon as I touched her, I knew. I knew that they'd done it. I may not know how, but I know why. In that case, Mrs. Kamiyama, please make your formal statement. All of you, each of you envied Clara. None of you could hold a candle to her, and deep down, you knew it. Hank, you could never match her in the corners. Jocelyn, you could never beat her on the straights. Kiska, you could never match her shifting skills. You saw a chance to eliminate her. It's just too convenient to be a coincidence. I don't get it. She didn't say anything about Clara's death, at least nothing concrete. How can she testify like that? She has already said that she's here as a character witness. It means she's just working off her first-hand knowledge of the people involved. The judge will weigh it up as less than truly relevant evidence. But as our clients are on shaky ground, it might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Thank you, Mrs. Kamiyama. Mrs. Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. Gladly, Your Honor. Ryoko, I can see you're in pain. Anyone in your position would be. And I can help but feel that after today, we might never speak again. But I won't let your anger jeopardize my clients' lives. They didn't kill Clara, can't you see that? Whew.
Hold it!
Your Honor? Yes, Miss Aquila? Are we to take these statements at face value? She's a character witness, Aquila. She still needs to qualify her statements. Otherwise, she could just say anything. Oh, you need receipts? Examples? I've got plenty. Hank, you could never match her in the corners.
Hold it!
Isn't Hank the ace of hearts? Oh, he's good, alright, but Hank's hot-blooded nature was remembered. You're out of line, Ryoko. Control yourself, Mr. Castle. See what I mean? Clara had immense mental discipline. She would always calm under pressure, which translated to beautiful, smooth cornering. Hank couldn't begin to understand the depth of her skill. You could never beat her on the straights.
Hold it!
The rest of the club seemed to respect Jocelyn. Those has-beens, they haven't fielded a Joker in years. Jocelyn's a weak person, and that makes her weak on the throttle. Holy shit. How can you just say such awful things? Oh wow, she's practically crying just from that. Clara was the strongest person I've ever known. No speed terrified her. If in doubt, flat out. Jocelyn's driving was pale imitation at best. Kiska, you can never match her shifting skills.
Hold it!
The other diamonds would disagree with your assessment of Kiska. That's just it. My assessment, my analysis. There's no formula for a perfect racer. I beg to differ. Oh really, Kiska? Then how come you weren't Joker? In fact, the more I think about it, you all just treat her as a rival when she thought of you as a friend. And you betrayed her. You feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yes, I believe it's important. Very well, witness. Can you please add this to your statement? No problem. I don't think any of you ever showed her one moment of true friendship. You used her. Evidence. I forget that I have to present.
Objection!
Ryoko, what? The Aces were never friends? Never. Really? Not for a single moment. Huh. Miss Aquila, is that a photograph? Yes, Your Honor. Taken not so long ago by Marco West. So? Ryoko, do you think the other aces are good actors? What? The affection in the photo. It looks awfully convincing. What does it have to do with anything? Ryoko, why do you believe that the aces were only pretending to be Clara's friends? Because they wanted to be on top. They all wanted to be Joker no matter the cost. That's what Toge Junkin Racing is all about. Do you feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yes, I believe it's important. Very well, witness. Can you please add this to your statement? Fine. Be the best and step on anyone to do it, just so it is.
Hold it.
I mean, are you... What? Would you step on someone to be the best? Obviously, if that's how things are done. Is that really how the roster racers are?
Hold it.
Your Honor, I must protest. It goes beyond mere opinion. It's a blatant accusation of guilt. I agree. Miss Kamiyama, please refrain from making baseless accusations. This is a character assassination. Who knew Ryoko could be so vindictive? Still, she's angry, and angry people make mistakes. But if we keep her talking, we'll find something we can refute with evidence. Save again. The heart of the drift. I think this could be it.
Objection?
No. Okay.
Penalty.
Okay, so my reasoning for this is, if this statement was accurate, there sure would be more fatalities since 1981.
Objection!
Okay. Ryoko, you're so wrong. What are you talking about? Every racer wants to win. It's true that every Toge Junkin racer would like to be the best, but that's not the real reason why they race. That's right. Racing's about learning about yourself through challenging others. It's about understanding the ultimate emotion. It's about seeing something in others that they don't even see in themselves. It isn't about winning, really. It's about truth. The truth that lies in the heart of the drift. You can't seriously... really? You've only known about Toge Junkin Racing for less than a week. Sanctimonious, patronizing. This is so you. Maybe, but sorry, Yoko, but I have to do this. In that time, I've learned a lot. Most importantly, though, the way you describe the attitude of the racers is wrong. Was Toge Junkin Racing just a challenge to you? You were so eager to go legit in order to be the best, but Clara was determined not to let the racer sell out. Don't you dare. I'm forced to ask, are you sure you knew Clara as well as you thought you did? Holy shit. Screw this. Hey you, prosecutor. Huh? I want to leave. I'm done here. That's crystal clear, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to dismiss Miss Kamiyama. Granted, Miss Kamiyama, you are free to go. Though before you do, you should know that the city offers a variety of options for grief counseling. Not in a million years. Nina? Yeah? This isn't over. Oh my god. Alright, Nina, you got a crazy ex. Be careful. Mr. Hawk, do you have any more witnesses to bring before the court? No, Your Honor. However, the prosecution's charges against the defendants remain the same. Murder in the second degree, murder by reckless endangerment, and involuntary manslaughter. While the opposite bench disputed some aspects of the motives proposed, the facts are indisputable. Clara Mass is dead. What? No. Okay, nah. You still haven't given a motive. Is there anything we can do? Is any of your evidence, Ren? Yeah, we have a little faith. We managed to dispute the motives pretty well, so if you have crushed the charge of second-degree murder, should I push for mistrial? Chad's wearing this poker face. What is he thinking? Hey, Nina, now we disputed his motives for the murder charge. Can we push to, I don't know, dispute the charge of murder in the second degree? Wouldn't that make things simpler? Aquila? Far be it for me to tell you how to do your job, but aren't you going to propose a mistrial for murder to charge? Think about it. If we got the judge to pursue mistrial, we'd be left with 2 charges instead of 3. But what did Chad say at the start of all this again? One of the charges. Must have had a strong reason to believe that. The fact suggested it alone makes me concerned. Okay, so what do we do? I don't know, man. Don't push. If we get Tawny to dismiss the murder in the second degree, the main charge is simpler. It might just result in summary judgment. Tawny might just pronounce the aces guilty on the spot. Clever trap, Chad. This one is rather tumbly. Miss Aquila? Yes, Your Honor. I would like to see the photograph again. The one you presented earlier? Of course. But why? Said this was taken by Marco? Yes, Your Honor. He really is a master of his craft. Their affection, all 5 of them, it looks so genuine. The court has made its decision. Counsel will be granted further time to investigate, and we will reconvene the day after tomorrow. Yeah! Woohoo! Your Honor, why? The defendant's motives are disputed, and the evidence remains inconclusive. Mr. Hawk, yes? If direct evidence is not forthcoming, I can only suggest you are more creative with your sources. As you personally do not drive, it might be wise to follow Mrs. Aquila''s example and find an expert witness. Follow my example? Oh, if only this moment could last forever. As for the defense, while Miss Aquila''s arguments today were persuasive against the statement of those particular witnesses, it still does not change the fact that the defendants were involved in dangerous activity with the deceased. A reasonable person would consider them in some way responsible for her death. And the person who died won't? What? Miss Aquila? Yes, Your Honor. Do not forget, in accordance with the 3-day statute, I will render a verdict at the end of the next trial day. Short of a significant change in the facts in this case, your client is in a very precarious position. I am sympathetic to your case, but do not test the limits of my sympathy. Shall reconvene the day after tomorrow. Court is adjourned. Let's do it. This one. Nina, stay here, okay? What? But I'll be right back. Wait, don't. Aquila Defense Law's offices. 5:24 p.m. Good lord. Hey Nina, what time is it? Early evening. You said we should try to sleep in today, remember? Because we're going to be up at the Roswell Spire most of the night. That being said, I thought you'd be up around noon or something. Are you okay? I'm fine. You were talking in your sleep again. Yeah? Maybe you shouldn't listen. Maybe you're right. Get up. I'll get us coffee. I probably misread that, but that's usually what happens. So what's next, boss? I was just thinking about that. We got lucky yesterday, right? Extremely. If Chet had better direct evidence, I think this would have been over before now. You think he's gonna find some? No. Well, that's that's a relief. Actually, kind of worries me. I have no idea what Chad's next course of action will be. Still, I know it might seem hard to think about, but we need to consider the idea that Clara just had an accident. Perhaps, but put it this way, our job is to be there for our clients, and unfortunately it leads us to a unique problem. How would you figure? The aces that all have a loose alibi against murder. They were all in the race and were trying to win, but street racing is an illegal activity, even if it's routinely ignored by police. One of the charges against the aces is manslaughter by endangerment. That means if Clara had an accident, their alibi against murder becomes evidence that they endangered Clara by street racing. Precisely. You're getting good at this. I'm pretty smart when I've had my 8 hours. That presents us with an unsolvable problem under our current frame of reference. So we need to flip our assumptions? More than that, I think we just need more information. We need to come up with another narrative that fits the facts, but we should make sure we don't lose sight of something important. What? It's a gut feeling, but I generally don't believe that any of the aces killed Clara. I also don't believe it was a simple accident. That means something else must have happened on the night, and we need to find out what it was. So where do we look? Maybe one of the racers knows more than they've told us. Maybe Trey saw Clara earlier in the day, or one of the clubs, or maybe the Hearts. Maybe Ryoko? We'll see. Well, we won't find answers here. Let's head up to the Rostro Vista. Come see me by the door when you're ready to go. I'm ready to go, my guy! Let's go! Yes. Yep, let's get going. Okay, boss. I don't know if there's like, I don't know, secret eggs to find or whatever in these little moments, but I don't care, man. Let's just go, 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 go. I really think Clara was dead before, which also goes hand in hand with when Ryoko touched the body and she could tell that she was frozen. Looks like someone's headed this way. Stray. Hard to tell with those dark and windows, but it certainly looked like he's far. Where do you think he's going? I don't know. But I've got a bad feeling. Maybe Trey will be the expert witness of Chad. I really think Trey did it. Rostro Vista parking lot. Hey, Nina. Hi, Ren. Did you manage to examine that wheel we found a couple days ago? Oh, that? I had to pass that over to a friend. He's taking a look at it for us. But there's something much more important I have to tell you. What is it? What's wrong? Your prosecutor friend was just here. Prosecutor? You mean Chad? Yeah. I knew it. Knew what? Ren, on the way up here, we passed a car heading back towards Sledge City. Was Chad inside with Trey Gearson? Yep, that prosecutor came here by taxi and asked for Trey by name. They left not long ago. Great. Looks like Chad just got his expert witness, and I doubt we're going to get a chance to speak to Trey. What did you want to ask him? I don't know. Something. Everything. Think we should tell him? Yeah, I think so. Ren, we were up here late, the night before last. Then the woman got back in the limo and drove off. Nina thought she knew. Let's keep that part between us for now. What's that? Nothing. What matters is that whoever she was meeting with Trey. You think that woman was the sponsor? Maybe. With Clara gone, I guess Trey is de facto leader of the Spades. But just who was the sponsor? We don't actually know. What? They weren't very forthcoming. Kesuke said it was because they have legitimate business interests, so they didn't want it to be known that they were consorting with illegal street racers. Makes sense. We have an email address, but it was to a temporary inbox. They told us that if we collectively said yes, then we'd get to find out more. Sounds fishy. Clara said exactly the same thing. She didn't like it one bit. It was like she was against the very concept of the idea. What was the whole reason? Well, there were rumors that Clara knew something about the sponsor. Something that no one else on the mountain knows. Any idea what that was? Nope. But it was gossip. I have no idea if it was true. Who would know? There's only one person on the mountain who might know a bit more. Ryoko. Ren, we need to find out more about what could have happened on the night Clara died. In that case... Oh no. You're gonna need more face. Oh shit. More spa. More flex. I get it, but still. Surely those last few races were beginner's luck. I'll never beat someone like Ryoko in this car. I keep telling you, your car's not your problem. What you need is style. You'll find that in the heart of the drift. Got it. Ask around. I'm sure you'll find someone who'll take your challenge. After all, beat the diamonds. Good luck. Come grab me if you want some advice. So, looks like we race. I see who's up for it. Yeah, you know what to expect, right guys? I'm just gonna skip it and show you the important thing. So we fight these. Jack of Clubs wants to know. Need Aquila, but I came here to race, not talk.
Hold it.
Kind of secrets. Okay, I admit it. You got yourself some style. Where'd you learn to drive like that? Law school. What the fuck? So why are you up here racing everyone? I'm trying to gain face. I'm representing the aces in court, and I need to know more about what Clara was doing on the night she died. When Clara died, I hadn't spoken to her in some time. But the Queen of Clubs, if I remember, he lives across the street from Clara's place. He? The Queen of Clubs? Ranks are ceremonial, they don't imply gender. All the kings are guys right now, but even that hasn't always been the case. I get it. Maybe you know something? Can't hurt to ask. Thanks. Good luck. The Queen of Hearts. No. Quite up to it? Confirm my name. Okay. Are you the Queen of Clubs? Jack of Clubs said that you live across the street from Clara's place. Huh. As if Mara would talk to. It's true, Razor. Huh? Mara doesn't mess around. I wanted to ask. I don't answer questions for people I don't respect. You gotta show me your true spirit, you little something something. Prove me you meddle with metal, then I'll sing like a little bird. Let's go. Okay, lawyer, I'm impressed. You know who I am? Yeah, Ren's kinda the gregarious type. Then presumably you know. You're looking for more info about Clara, right? Jack of Club said you live across the street from her place. I do. Then, do you know anything that might help us? Sorry, but I got nothing. I hadn't spoken to her in a few weeks. Damn. Actually, I looked over at her parking space when I left on the night she died. I thought about how we used to talk more. Wasn't Clara a wealthy socialite? What are you trying to say, Goggle Boy? Clara might have liked the finer things, but she knew how to thrash with the best of them. With her connections, let's just say that she always knew where the best bands were playing. Hold it. You said you looked at her parking space. Her car wasn't there? That's right. She was out. What time was it? Great thinking, Nina. A little after 7. It takes about an hour to get up to Rostro Vista from Fledge City. Clara arrived for their ace race, which was at around 10. If it only takes an hour to get to the mountain, that means there are 2 hours of Clara's time on that evening that we can't account for. Maybe she just went to get drive-through? Maybe. I don't think so. 2 days ago, the Queen of Diamonds told us she was trying to call Clara all evening, but she couldn't get through to her. Whatever Clara was doing, I think it was important. Anything we can do to try and build up a picture of Clara's evening might help us to understand what happened later. Thanks a bunch. No problem. Think you're more metal than I thought. You're going after the King of Clubs next? Does he know anything? Me and Clara go way back. Then I guess he's next. Alright. Is that how you address an officer? This isn't military. Where's the pity? Wait, he has a... Holy shit. He has a tank. Wait up. Nina, don't antagonize him. Look, Mr. Wolf. Marl, Connell, whatever. Razor told me that you knew Clara Mass quite well. Is that true? Not sure I've heard of a Clara Mass. But Razor said, I don't even know why you'd want to ask about her. What is this guy's deal? I know, right? Those are clearly bold-faced lies. Will you truthfully answer any of my questions? Don't answer any questions from a superior. Then let's race. Mark my words, no one defeats Rolling Thunder. Rolling what? Let's go. Same place I got all my stuff. You're not really a lieutenant after all. More a method actor. It's a hobby. Well, that explains that. How do you know Clara? I did her taxes. You're an accountant? That's right. I might violate confidentiality, but I know you could subpoena the data, so I'll just tell you there's nothing you would care about. Clara was independently wealthy and all above board. Her biggest concern was about the sponsorship situation. She wanted to remain Joker for at least another season, so she could refuse it. It was very important to her, though I don't quite understand why. Thanks, Wolf. She was a good leader. I shall miss her. Hey, Nina, did you hear that? What? She sounds like cars. Sorry, back again. I'm here, aren't I? You must be quaking in your boots. Heard that stuffy prosecutor came up here and strong-armed Trey to testify. What use is his testimony? You surely think I'm going to answer your questions? It would be a lot easier if you did, if I'm being honest. I'm pleased to disappoint you. Then I'll race you for the answers I need. Yeah, right. Kirky, Svetlana. Show Miss Aquila what he means to be a real Tuge Junkin racer. The night of the ace race, I have nothing to say about the races. Wait, races? Wasn't there only one race? The ace race? No more words. Ryoko has tasked me. I must break you. Let's race. Let's go. I no longer believe you. Thanks, it means a lot, but I want to ask, before you race, you said something about there being races on the evening that Clara died. What did you mean? On night Clara died, I arrived at Mountain at around 7:15. It was quite early, right? Duh. I am forced to arrive on that evening. I came yearly for hot dog truck. The hot dogs are amazing. Have you tried them yet? No. I keep meaning to try, but Terry keeps selling out. The races, Svetlana. Tell me about the races. When I arrive at 7:15, I see no other cars here at the parking lot. When I hear racing, I go on further down Mountain. I hear two cars, performance vehicles, engines, tires, squeals. You sure it was two cars? Yeah, I'm certain. There was a race going on at around 7:15. Did you tell the police about this? Da. The story of cars several hours before race. They didn't think it was notable. Yet. This doesn't make sense. Are you saying I am liar? No. Just there was someone waiting further down the track. From not long after 6. You're talking about the photographer, Marco West. Yeah. He said no one passed him all evening. So if there was another race, where did these cars go? And who was racing? I mean, it could be totally unrelated. Maybe, but maybe not. Apologies, but I have no answers for you. I only know what I heard. That's fine, Svetlana. Anything unusual about that evening could be useful. You have strong race's heart. He serves you well. Good luck against King of Hearts. What do you care? I'm trying to find out more about the night that Clara... You're trying to let Hank get away with murder. What? This guy goes from 0 to 60 in no time at all. Wait, isn't Hank your leader? Your ace? So? Ryoko's told me all about it. We don't know how, but those aces did something, now Clara's dead. Clara and I may not have been teammates, but I respected her. Oh, this is gonna be brutal. Let's go! What? Hey, lawyer! Well, I was expecting the race, actually. Oh, Mr. Custodian. I have a name, you know. It's Jasper. Jasper Frank. How is your investigation going? We're still trying to build up a picture of what Clara was doing on the night she died. Right now, we're trying to gather together... What the hell? We're trying to gather together anything unusual anyone saw, no matter how innocuous it might have seemed. Try to park straighter next time. You came over here just to say that? I don't believe that for a second. Mr. Frank! If you have something to say, you should. People's lives are at stake. You're about to race Kirky, right? That's right. Can you win? I don't know. I just wish my car was faster. But Ren keeps saying that doesn't matter. Smart guy, that Ren. Sometimes, though, what you need isn't more speed. It's to lose less speed where you normally slow down. How do I do that? Multitask and try to wing it. I hear you're good at that, if you say so. Racing isn't about engines or horsepower. It's about truth. Good luck, lawyer. Huh? You! I'm sorry. What was that? I said I'm sorry. One more time? Don't push it. Useless, both of you. Jesus. Nina! Get over here so I can beat you. Then you can go home, and tomorrow we'll see the aces expose a trio of murderers. You honestly think you can beat me? Let's go. Alright, here comes the Psycho X. Ryoko, please. I don't want to hear. Damn it, Ryoko, listen to me. Nina, no, this has gone on long enough. Ryoko, seriously now, do you really think that the aces are directly responsible for Clara's death? I don't know. Be honest with yourself. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, Ryoko, you poor thing. I just needed it to be anyone's fault. I still can't believe she's gone. Last time we spoke, I had no idea. It's okay. No, I need to tell someone or it feels like my head's gonna explode. We gotta fight. I thought we'd make up later like we always did, but then there was no later. When did you last talk to her? At lunch, we went out for food and she got a text message on her phone. It looked like it'd bother her, so I asked her who it was, but she wouldn't say. She said it was team business, which led us to us arguing over the sponsorship deal. We said things to each other and I stormed off. I wonder if she hated me at the end. If it makes any difference, Ryoko, I know perfectly well that you wouldn't put up with anyone so petty. Just looking at how you've acted, I suspect she cared deeply for you. Thanks, Nina. Oh god, I've been so horrible to you over the last few days. How can I make it up to you? The only thing I would ask, Ryoko, is this. Do you know what Clara did between leaving you at lunch and arriving at the mountain for the ace race? No, I have no idea. Damn. Then we're in trouble, right? It looks like it. What's wrong? It was a long shot, but as you were close to Clara, we were banking on you knowing something that might have helped us. Do you have anything that could exonerate the aces? Did Clara ever say she was worried for her life, or maybe did she ever give you anything personal? No, nothing like that. We've only been dating for about 3 months. I don't even have any really good photos of just the two of us, apart from some smartphone snaps. You don't have anything of hers? Anything at all? Well, I have one thing. What? A few weeks ago, Clara gave me a spare set of keys to her car. A spare set of car keys? Yeah, it was for safekeeping. Don't tell anyone. Why? Sharing keys is kinda a no-no on the Spire. Some old tradition. Can we take them? I can give them back to you after the trial if you come to my office. Okay, but why? Right now? No idea. But sometimes the smallest thing can make a big difference. Good luck tomorrow, okay? We're gonna need it. All of this for some vague knowledge of Clara's movements. Oh, and a set of keys. It's not enough. Nowhere near enough. Hey, Nina, look. There's no line over at Terry's! Let's get some hot dogs. I'm kinda hungry. Yeah, and no hot dogs. Nina! D-bro! Hey, Terry. Hey, you're in luck. I've got my last 2 hot dogs with your name on them. Awesome. You want onions? Mustard? The works for me. Just mustard on mine. Here you go. Mustard is a type of condiment that I can't tell whether I like or not. Wow, these are amazing. Honestly, it seems weird to say, but these hot dogs are incredible. What's your secret? Secret? Is it the mustard? I think it's the onions. Is it the onions? Nope. Okay, I'll tell you. I'm scared. They're vegan. Seriously? There's no meat in them? Not a bit. Since when are you vegan, T-bro? I'm not. There was a bit of a mix-up when I ordered my shipment, but I guess I kind of figure like how much actual meat is in like real hot dogs, I guess. People love them though. No one has even asked about it. They're totally indistinguishable from the real thing. Imposter hot dogs, huh? No, I've seen everything. I mean, I prefer the term artificial, but I suppose so. Imposter hot dogs. Indistinguishable. You okay, Nina? I'm fine, just thinking aloud. Well, now that's done, I'm gonna close up for the night. You guys headed back to Fletch City? Yep, I think we're done here. We're gonna head back to the office. Safe trip home. Fletch City. Nina. Hey, Nina. Yeah. You couldn't sleep either, huh? Not a chance. You think the aces are going to be found guilty? I'm trying to be optimistic. But it's like we talked about just this morning. While Chet couldn't prove murder, the aces were still involved in a dangerous illegal activity. I don't think we can disprove Chet's charge of manslaughter by reckless endangerment. We have so much evidence. None of it fits together, right? Excuse me. I was thinking about that too. I guess we should both try to get some sleep for real this time. I'm gonna grab a glass of water. I just don't... What the? Dylan, is that you? You say something, Nina? Yeah, I thought I heard... You want me to get that? Yes. Whoops. Nina, get dressed. Who is it? That guy from up at the spire. Can you narrow it down? Get dressed. Oh, the janitor. Jasper Frank, or whatever. Aquila, wasn't it? Nina Aquila? That's right. You here to find me for littering? Don't give me that. Custodian's as much as a job as anything else, including being a lawyer. And why are you here? I said I wouldn't get involved again with the roster racers. Again? But if those aces are found guilty tomorrow with Clara gone, and those teams at each other's throats, could be the end of Toget Junkin racing. What? Wouldn't that be good for you? What do you mean? Don't the racers create a lot of work for you, custodian-wise? Don't mistake my distance from the racers for indifference. I've watched them for years. I've seen aces and jokers come and go. But it's strange. What is? I've never seen the bonds between them grow so tenuous. Losing Clara at this very time, it's like someone pulled a keystone out of a carefully built house. Take any other stone at any other time, and the rest of the house stays standing. But pull out the keystone and the whole thing comes tumbling down. Now that he said that, it does seem almost surgical. Anyway, before I left tonight, I ran into that Ryoko girl. She said that you were looking for anything strange from the night that Clara died. Anything at all. That's right. Well, there was something strange. It happened when I was on my way up the mountain in my truck. I reached down to change my radio station, and in that moment, I saw headlights in my rearview mirror. Before I could look up, I was passed by a car. It was fast and managed to round the corner ahead of me before I got a really good look at it. Okay, what's strange about that? I'm getting to that. I looked up, and at that moment, another car passed me, and suddenly, I had the strangest feeling. Deja vu. Like you've just been in this place before? That's the one. It was so powerful that I was worried I'd hallucinated amid the falling snow. I'd stopped the truck to make sure I was awake. So, what? Are you saying that it was like the exact same car had passed me twice? How's that possible? You tell me. You're a lawyer. When was this? Getting towards 7 p.m. Huh, I know it's a small thing, but you did say anything. I did. Thanks, Mr. Frank. Why didn't you tell me this before? I didn't know you. You still don't really know me. Maybe not, but I saw your truth in the heart of the drift. I knew that you would listen, even if it sounded ridiculous. And I think Clara would have wanted me to tell you. How did you know her? I didn't really. It's more that she knew me. I have no idea how, but she knew my name before I even spoke to her. The woman's contacts extended far and wide. I think she was more powerful than she herself realized. Believe me, that's an unusual feeling for someone like me. I'm a bit of a hermit. Now, that'll pass into the ether. Maybe that's for the best. Well, that's it. Mr. Frank, I have one other question that maybe you can answer. The roster racers are being torn apart over this sponsorship issue. Who is the sponsor? Do you know? Sorry, but no. I don't know who they are, but I know some things. Clara knew. As soon as she found out, she wanted nothing to do with it. High society stuff. Huh. As for me, I think I'm done here. I have family in Florida who have been asking me to move down there for years. I think now's the time. Good luck, Mrs. Aquila. To us both. I'll see you out. Take care of yourself, Jasper. Deja vu, huh? It's the end of the day. Yes. 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 We can do this one. Valentina. What's up? What's up? Surely you know what's up. How do you do it? What? Go to court with a straight face when things are so bleak. Practice. Besides, during Terry's trial, you always seem like Mr. Optimism. What's wrong? That was different. Deep down, I knew that T-Bro wasn't guilty, and even if it was hopeless, I wanted him to see that I still believe that. Then you've got the right idea. I have. Dylan, being a defense attorney isn't about winning and losing. It's about being there for your client. And sometimes it's even more important when they're going to be found guilty, or when they're truly alone. So, are you good to go? Can you do this? I think so. You're gonna have to do better than that. You ready for court? Good to go, boss. Attaboy. Let's get to the courthouse. Wait. Deep breaths, Nina. No matter what happens today, you're going to be there for your clients. Just like Anya always taught you. Dylan needs you to hold it together too, just as much as your clients. Let's do this with dignity. Where is my expert, damn it? What is it? I forgot to call Ren. It's okay, I took care of it. You did? I tried to call him while you were in the shower, but he didn't answer. Did you try him again? You were in the shower for your customary half hour with that pair of yours. Whoa, with that pair of yours, you mean my boobs? What do you think? No answer, huh? Nada. You think he was worried about the way the wind was blowing? Maybe. It's not easy seeing your friends get sentenced. I have no idea, thanks to you. Aw, that was actually sweet. But I do think Ren probably was checking with the friend of his about the tire. Third time lucky, Miss Aquila. Chad. I must say, you're a consummate professional. Why'd you say that? Because I know that you've got nothing. No promotional lighters, no dragon summoning cars. Even Anya Miller would concede in your position. Then my clients are fortunate that I'm not Anya Miller. Well... Good one, Nina. So you do have a plan? What? No. I just didn't want it to be too easy for him. Please be seated. We are here to observe the third day, the trial of the three defendants. Keisuke Akagi, also known as the Ace of Diamonds, Hank Castle, also known as the Ace of Hearts, and Jocelyn Montefiore, also known as the Ace of Clubs. These individuals were involved in actions which lead to the death of Clara Mass, a wealthy socialite, also known as the Ace of Spades. At the first trial day, it was agreed that the prosecution would yield the charge of murder in the first degree. The defendants do not stand accused of premeditated murder. However, they remain accused of several offenses, namely murder by reckless endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, as well as murder in the second degree. At the second trial day, we addressed the possible motives of the defendants. While compelling, these motives were each somewhat flawed compared to the obvious friendship shared by the defendants and the deceased. Neither the prosecution nor the defense have presented compelling arguments about what happened during the actual race, and the bench has suggested both sides ignore expertise in matters of this Janken racing. Mr. Hawk, Mrs. Aquila, have you attempted to do this? I have, Your Honor. As have we. Chad is Trey, but what could Trey possibly know to make him so confident? Very well, be aware in accordance with the 3-day statute, I am compelled to render the verdict at the end of this trial day. Mr. Hawk, please restate the prosecution's case. Of course. Your Honor, the prosecution's perspective has not changed. Clara Mass is dead. The precise events of her death are, as we have established, not entirely certain. Direct evidence in this case does not seem to be forthcoming. Our only alternative is to turn to outside expertise, as the court has suggested, to try and resolve this deadlock. It is still the prosecution's belief that the Aces are guilty on multiple charges, and we will clarify this via expert witness testimony. Thank you, Mr. Hawk. Bailiff, please bring in the defendants. The three of you are aware of the charges maintained by the prosecution. How do you plead? Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. I suppose that expediency was too much to hope for. Mr. Castle, Mr. Akagi, Miss Montefiore, the court recognizes your plea. Prosecution, bring forth your first witness. We already know that Chad's going to bring out Trey. Not sure what he's going to say, but I bet it's compelling. Meanwhile, our knowledge of Clara's movements on that evening is a bit of a jumble. My only hope, if there is any hope, is to assemble that jumble into something more cohesive. Seems impossible. Let's not give up yet. Trey Gearson. Holy shit. Oh, Mr. Hawk. Is this the correct witness? Yes. Your note said he was a mechanic. Uh-oh. Is there a problem, Your Honor? Oh, no problem. Just I have expected you to be, well, a movie star. Is a bishi. So, like, bishi is like bishonen, which, again, is another Japanese thing. For, like, it just means a beautiful, gorgeous boy. Starting to think it's been a while for Judge Tawny. Your Honor, I'm here for a reason. May we continue? Oh my, of course. Please state your identity for the court record. Your Honor, I am Trey Gearson, master mechanic and current king of spades. But as for my profession, I am the owner of a series of auto repair shops in the Fledge City area, Gearson & Co. I am both the owner and practicing manager of the business, having trained every member of staff. Well, he's not kidding when he says master mechanic. However, more importantly, Clara and I were close friends. I see. We had known each other for several years and had a great deal of respect for each other's skills. The Roster Racers are in the midst of an internal disagreement that affects the future of mountain racing. Clara was central to this disagreement, but she practiced her racing skills daily, honing them to a new height of perfection. Your Honor, if I may, I feel the witness has established his identity, but this further quantification is unnecessary. We're all aware of Clara's exceptional skills. On the contrary, Clara Mass's exceptional skills are of great interest in the court. Mr. Gearson, please inform the court of what you told me yesterday. It is of my expert opinion that Clara Mass was a preeminent two-champion racer. It would therefore be unconscionable, at least in my eyes, that she would die by simple accident of driving-based mishap. So if I am to understand your meaning, Mr. Gearson, Clara Mass could only have crashed if she were somehow forced into doing so. Forced into a crash? That would mean...
Order. Objection.
Impossible. We already established that there is zero evidence that any of the aces shunted cars off the road.
Objection.
Perhaps. Mr. Gearson, Mr. Hawk and I discussed this. Even if none of the aces collided with Clara's car, there are many ways to coerce a driver into having an accident that do not involve a collision. This is bullshit. Hank, you know it as well as I do, Keisuke. It's racing. Putting pressure on each other is what we do. Mr. Castle, control yourself. I'm sure Hank means well, but he rather eloquently proves my point. Clara was skilled, but still human. While she would never have made a simple error in controlled conditions, this was a high-pressure race, where she was pushed, metaphorically speaking, into making a mistake that caused her death. This is all hearsay, and surely this is inadmissible. He's an expert witness, but he can't just make stuff up. Mr. Gearson's remarks are well qualified by his experience and close knowledge of the deceased. That these matters are inconvenient for you, Miss Aquila, is not inherent to make them untrue. Mrs. Aquila raises a good point. Given the circumstances of this case, the court will allow Mr. Gearson to testify on this topic, with the express understanding that his remarks are purely his expert opinion. I guess I'll have to do. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Gearson, are you prepared to make a formal statement on this matter? I am, Your Honor. Okay, Clara's skills are extraordinary and absolutely consistent. Consistent, okay. Has me convinced. Okay. First thing. Well, I didn't mean to do this, but okay. We did it safe. Probably. Oh, come on! Dude, are you fucking serious, Devs?
Penalty.
That was... Are you kidding me?
Hold it.
Absolutely consistent? Yes. I've never seen Clara make a single error. The smoothness of her cornering was the stuff of legend. Most racers at some point are known to scratch the paint or dent their front or rear wings when drifting. Not Clara. I examined her car, every bolt and weld, every single race, and there was never a scratch on it. Or damage. That could have been for the crash, I guess.
Hold it.
You've known her that long? Only a couple of years, but I've heard the stories from before that. I have no reason to doubt them. It's hearsay, but it feels almost pointless to object. Tony's aware that this is just his opinion. I don't like it, but we'll have to go along with it. None of the other aces struck her car or shunted her.
Hold it!
So you admit that none of the aces collided with Clara's car. I admit that, yes. The evidence that Mr. Hawk was showing me appears quite conclusive. That doesn't mean they're not responsible, though. Because there are numerous ways to cause a crash. Like what? A banana skin on the road? A blue shell? Mario Kart! It's possible that a near miss or an aggressive overtake gone wrong, that these are sort of things that can lead to a crash. Racing is high pressure activity. We've already established that everyone on the course had a compelling reason to win. They may have just allowed their timbers to flare and they caused them to push things too hard. We know that Clara was behind. Then ducked her headlights and made her way to the front of the pack. Perhaps. Leads in the right thing for comments. Yeah. It's okay. Really. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Wait. Ryoko. Oh no. It's our expert. I had a small experiment. What is the meaning of this? Your Honor, you might recognize my expert witness Stan Brenson from the last two court days. As you can see, he has arrived late. Seriously? May I request a short recess? Surely not. Mr. Hawk, please reasonably. The court will grant you a short pause to brief your expert no more. Thank you, Your Honor. Ina, it's wrong. All of it. Ren, I know it's hard to see your friends about to be sentenced, but... What? No, not that. This, I checked it, and it wasn't right, so I looked into a second opinion. Ren, calm down. Yeah, man, you're doing 120, and we need you at about 40. Okay, we thought that waylaid wheel was Clara's because he matched her rims and tires. But it isn't. What? How? The wear on the tire is all wrong. Clara's car was missing its front, driver's side wheel. This is definitely a rear wheel. You sure? Positive. Why does that matter? Does that mean the wheel could have just come from anywhere? I thought about that, but these tires and rims, this combination is used by many of us roadster racers, and practically no one else. They're a special racing compound and lightweight rims. No normal driver would use them. Even so, could these have come from any other racer? I thought so too, and it would be hard to prove otherwise. But I had an idea. What? The reason why I got here late. I wanted to prove it was too big a coincidence to simply ignore. I had to perform an experiment. You know I told you that the place you found the tire was at the bottom of a dip in the course? Like the accident scene was uphill from where you found it? Yeah, I remember that. This tire is punctured, meaning someone probably removed it by the roadside. So I drove up to the scene, put the tire on the road, and let go of it. Through the slope, it started rolling, and came to rest almost exactly where you found it. Whoa! And here's the kicker. As part of reducing the weight of their cars, street racers don't carry spare wheels. Then that suggests... Damn it, I need more time. Mr. Hawk, how do I buy more? Wait, could you please remind me of the list of charges that the prosecution has put before the court? The charges? Why? I wanted to be sure about them before the defense rests. And I know that your notes are more organized than mine. Nina, what are you... Shh. Very well. The prosecution left the charges of... Okay, they'll keep chat talking for a minute or so while I get the thing. Clara was found in her car, which had 3 wheels. The driver's side front wheel was missing. Now I found this mysterious wheel, and Red's experiment suggests it came from the accident side. But this isn't a missing wheel from Clara's car. This must have come from somewhere else. Was it Chad said that back, the Great Wave? So let's improvise. There, are you satisfied? Not remotely. Your Honor, as you yourself said, this case is currently made more complex by the fact we do not have a clear understanding of how the accident took place. No one does. On the contrary, the defense wishes to propose an outline of what happened, drawing upon evidence. You know what happened? Order. Wait, you know what happened? Hell no. I'm kind of playing speed chess here. Sure about this? It's what I do. Explain yourself at once, Your Honor. My associate has shed new light on a piece of evidence. This mysterious wheel, which was found further up the course from the accident scene. So, we're all aware that Clara's car was missing the wheel. This is not that wheel. What? Clara's car was missing the front driver's side wheel. My associate says that the wear pattern reveals this to be a rear wheel. Mere conjecture. To echo your earlier point, Chad, he's an expert witness that these matters are inconvenient for you. If I could borrow this feeling and sell it, I'd be a millionaire. Objection. But how can you possibly prove that this is any bearing on Clara's accident? When placed on the ground at the site of the accident and left to roll, this wheel rolls right back to where we discovered it, on the course. Surely, even you can admit that this is too large a coincidence to simply ignore. So then, where is Clara's car's actual wheel? Oh, we'll get to that. That makes me sound smart. Really, I don't know. Maybe by the time we get there, I'll have figured it out. For the moment, consider this. For us to find a wheel that does not belong to Clara's car, this must have come from a different car. An additional car that was somehow involved. Miss Aquila raises a good point. If another car, and by extension another driver, was involved in the events of Clara's death, this would have a great bearing on the case. Mr. Hawk, can you account for this? I'm impressed, Aquila. Uh-oh. But tell me this. Let's say for a moment that there was an additional car. Where did it go? The accused aces didn't mention another car in the statements. The photographer didn't see another car all evening. No other car is seen in the photo of the aces at the crime scene. So riddle me this. When did this mystery wheel came to rest upon the track? Before the race. Isn't that obvious? It must have been before the race. Ha! You're reaching. I've yet to see any evidence to suggest there was anything significant going on at the mountain prior to the events of Clara's death. This is a fair observation, Miss Aquila. Do you have any evidence that any related events took place before the ace race? Your Honor, last night one of the roster racers spoke to us up at the Rostro Vista. They said that when they arrived at the mountain several hours before the ace race, they could hear the sounds of another race going on further down the track. Perhaps, but how is this relevant to the events of Clara? I'm getting to that. know. I really don't know. Like, why don't I have a profile for the photographer? I'm stumped. I legit don't know. Let's see if we can keep building this picture of Clara's movements. She went there early, where there was an early race. Your Honor, this is the defense's understanding that Clara Mass left her home early that evening. Was involved in something that prevented her from answering your phone, despite others trying to reach her. So it's possible Clara was present at the mountain earlier, perhaps even taking part in this earlier race. Yeah, maybe she was. Not good. Let's say she was in this earlier race. In fact, why not? The prosecution concedes she could have been in this earlier race. However, that has zero bearing on later events. But perhaps there was a race, and Clara was in it. Maybe someone lost a wheel. Perhaps the other car was picked up by aliens flying low over the mountain. None of this matters. Oh, he's right. And if we had cast iron and proved that Clara took part in an earlier race, how would that exonerate the aces? There must be some way this becomes relevant. Think, Nina. This point seems to be running to its logical conclusion. A moment, please, Your Honor. Okay. No pressure, but we've got about 30 seconds to figure out that earlier race connects to later events, or this is going to end here now. Then let's walk through it. I guess we're taking it as given that Clara took part in the earlier race. Yeah, we've got to assume that. Clara got up the mountain earlier than everyone thought. She wasn't alone. She raced in another car. T-Row was up there setting up, but he was probably really busy, and his truck doesn't face the road, so he could have missed it. And not long after Clara and the other car set off, Svetlana and Jagafars arrived at the top of the mountain. Sure, the sound of two cars racing. Clara's car, a mystery car. But who won? I'm not sure that really matters. Guess we don't know. I mean, did they even finish the race? Can you feel that if the earlier race had finished, someone would have seen that happen? Marco. Of course, if they had finished, Marco West would have seen them do it. He said that he was camped out at the track for the whole evening. So we know they started racing, but didn't finish. That means they must have stopped before the end of their race, and someone exchanged a tire. Right. Wait, come again? Think about it. Ren says the street racers don't carry spare tires, right? So that means between two cars on the course, there are 8 wheels, meaning 4 wheels each. We have one of those wheels, and it's from the mystery car. But Clara's car is also missing a wheel. But, and this is the kicker, Clara's car, when we saw it, had 3 wheels still on it. But the mystery car was gone. It's simple algebra. If the mystery car drove off, then he must have had 4 functioning tires. Right, the driver of the mystery car must have replaced the faulty wheel that we have with one of Clara's, and presumably the one that we have rolled off and was lost in the darkness before they could grab it. But why did this all even happen? I suppose it's simple. Why do we ever change a tire by the side of the road in the middle of winter? There was an accident. It's the only thing that explains both that the race didn't finish and why they would exchange tires. But we know that Clara must have driven back up, maybe via the side road, and to get to the ace race. So Clara just drove away in the one working car, leaving the other car stranded? That doesn't seem like her. And if the mystery car was left stranded near where Clara's crash would later take place, then where did it go? I get the feeling that we're circling something very important here, but we're not quite there yet. Thinking that the 2 cars are racing, there's an accident, both cars stop before they reach where Marco Weiss is camped out on the course. One of the cars is left with 3 functioning wheels, so he can't drive away. Clara's car turned up before the start of the ace race, and as we have one of the wheels, we know that one of the cars was left stranded. But as the mystery car wasn't there later on, that makes it impossible for Clara to have just driven away. We know that the mystery car was not there when the ace race happened. Only Clara's crashed car containing her corpse. That could mean... I'm afraid I have to hurry you, Miss Aquila. It must mean... Clara never left the scene. The defense wishes to present a theory. Clara took part in an earlier race. There was an accident in which she was involved, and she never returned to the top of the mountain. Preposterous. She took part in the ace race. Can you prove that? I don't need to. There are over 30 eyewitnesses, including, if I might add, you. Did any of them speak to Clara? Any one of those witnesses? I didn't. My assistant didn't. Real quickly neither, but I'm trying not to out Clara, so let's not venture that here. How would that possibly... All of us saw the same thing. A car with darkened windows. This is ridiculous. Of course, Clara took part in the race. That's how she died. You're certain of that? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Your Honor, the defense wishes for Mr. Gerson to make a statement concerning why he believes Clara took part in the ace race. You sure about this, Nina? Got to be. Because based on our reasoning, no matter how nonsensical it seems, it's impossible for Clara to have done both. Very well. Mr. Gerson, please make a statement about why you're certain that Clara took part in the ace race. He's guilty, this guy. Well, you all saw Clara start the race. Clara had been working towards it for weeks. Besides, if Clara had been left on the track, someone would have seen her. Can't be true. Gladly, Your Honor.
Hold it!
Did you actually speak to Clara? Well, no. If you remember, I wasn't there at the start of the race. I arrived at the mountain when it was partway through. You and I met in the hot dog line. From my understanding, no one actually spoke to Clara or saw her walking around. Her car turned up for the race, but that's it. For that to even make sense. Besides, if Clara had been left on the track, someone would have seen her.
Hold it!
Only if someone actually drove down the track. The aces drove down the track. And they found Clara. Even so, isn't it far-fetched to suggest that between this early race and the ace race that no one found her? That's if this ridiculous theory that she was just left there is more than hogwash. Is it possible that Clara could have just been stranded there and no one would have found her? Do you have any evidence which makes this likely? Disused.
Objection!
Trey, yes. You spend a lot of time at the Rostro Spire area, correct? That's right. I'll say that I'm there most evenings. Do you drive down the Rostro Pass very much? All the time, for racing practice or in actual races. What about outside of races? Perhaps we need to travel to Rotunda, further to the north. Well, not really, no. The mountain road is treacherous, especially in winter. No one uses the Rostro Pass just for travel. Gotcha. Your Honor, as Mr. Gearson has admitted, and as the court is already aware, the Rostro Pass is disused. It was originally built to be a path to Rotunda in the north. Their wall has now been replaced by a modern freeway bypass, which takes a tunnel from Clarkson's route. We even know, due to Marco West's position on the track, that no other vehicle drove down it for the entire evening. The phone reception on the mountain is almost non-existent. Clara and her car really could have been stranded there undiscovered for several hours. Whoa, that's true. No one takes their route anymore. Hawk looks like he's about to have kittens. This week on the uptake, part of me thinks we're stepping through an equation that is just solved. This is all utter nonsense. The car in the ace race was Clara's. How do you explain that? This is a fair observation. Do you feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yes, I believe it's important. Very well, witness, please add this to your statement. It was Clara's.
Hold it!
Again, how do you really know that? Dozens of people saw it. They saw a car, perhaps, but... Aquila, you're going to have to do better than that. What? Search for people who are well versed in mountain road racing. It seems Roger suggested they would misidentify a car. Suggest the car was in fact a different car, then you need evidence of that. If Clara's car at the start of the X-race managed to flip, it must have bore some kind of identifier. Yeah. I'm just gonna save, but I think it is the license plate.
Objection!
Okay, Trey, here's the question. How does a person identify a car? There are many ways. Color, size, make, model, number of doors, engine size. Those things don't identify a car. Many cars are the same color or have similar engines. What identifies a car is a unique vehicle. Let's say the police recover a car that is stolen. How do they reunite the car with its owner? I'm not a policeman. Humor me.
Objection.
Your Honor, the defense is asking the witness to speculate. I'll allow it. But make your point quickly, Miss Aquila. Well, I suppose the police would examine the car's license plate and match that to the records at the DMV. Let it be stated for the record that in this state, vehicles are only required to bear one plate. So, Mr. Gearson, hypothetically speaking, if a vehicle bore the wrong license plate, could it be misidentified? That's absurd. The mix-up would surely only be brief. Absolutely, fleeting even. But tell me, let's say that after this earlier race, someone stole the plate from Clara's car and fitted it to a different car. How thoroughly did people inspect Clara's car at the start of the ace race and for how long? In fact, this suggests a further extension of our theory, because if Clara was stranded further down the mountain after the earlier race, let's go for it. The person who entered the ace race was an imposter. I will have order. I don't believe this. I refuse to believe it. The Rostro Racers are a group of exceptional individuals. Your suggestion, Jesus Christ, you're suggesting we can be hoodwinked so easily? No mere imposter could possibly fool the entire Rostro racing community. It does seem somewhat far-fetched, but quite possible given the right supporting evidence. You feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yes, I believe it's important. Very well, witness. Can you please add this to your statement? Alright, I am going to save, and I need to make a new recording, so just bear with me, guys. Alright, we're ready. feel that the roster racers are immune to being hoodwinked? I do. It's a community of exceptionally skilled people. Nothing gets past us. Oh, I think you're all more easily fooled than you realize, and I'm sure I have the evidence to prove it. Are you thinking? Uh-huh. We're seriously going to present? Uh-huh. You're absolutely loving this. Uh-huh. It's the hot dogs.
Objection!
Trey, can you just remind the court where we first met? It was in the line for the hot dog vendor up at the Rostro Vista. Why? And those hot dogs, are they good? Have you had them before? Yes, numerous times. Actually, they're fantastic, surprisingly so. Your Honor, to refute the witness statement, we would like to present this, a vegan hot dog. What? Those are vegan hot dogs? I'm vegan. I could have been having them all this time. What's happening? Vegan? What does that have to do with anything? Two things, Chad. Firstly, Terry Scrubs Dogs has been very popular up at the Rostro Spire. In fact, people are saying they're the best hot dogs they've ever tasted. But here's the kicker. Due to a shipping error, Terry received a shipment of vegan hot dogs by mistake. He's been selling them for weeks, and nobody noticed. But secondly, this is a perfect analogy, because Terry's actions follow from that faulty shipment. Cause and effect. But if that were true, I mean, the imposter who entered the ace race, even if they swapped the plates, they would need to be driving a very similar car, ideally the same model car. This has all been very entertaining, but enough. I'm not aware of any evidence that there was a duplicate of Kara's car up on the mountain, and without that, the sole line of reasoning crumbles into dust. I do believe we have entertained this flight of fancy for long enough. Miss Aquila, I'm going to have to ask for some evidence that this duplicate car ever existed, or I'll be forced to draw proceedings to a close immediately. A duplicate car? Was there a duplicate? Did anyone see one? Mild case of... mild case of deja vu. Deja vu? Like you've just been in this place. I know what it means. Your Honor, the custodian of the Rostro Vista parking lot, a man named Jasper Frank, told us that he experienced deja vu on the night Clara died, while driving up towards the top of the mountain. His head effect was so severe that he was forced to stop for a moment to be sure he wasn't hallucinating. At the time, it didn't make much sense, but the time syncs up. How so? Jasper was passed by two identical-looking cars, one after the other. Except if that were true, that only leaves a very short time for the driver of this mystery car to change the tire and the license plates. Basic tools alone, by the roadside, increasing temperatures, and in the dark. You're right. I know. Who could do all those things? Who could drive that well enough for people to briefly think Clara was behind the wheel? A master mechanic who could change a tire in place in no time with basic tools in the dark? Who could get Clara to come out to the mountain early at all when she knew she had an important race later? Someone close to her whom no one would ever immediately suspect, who had access to another Mitsuyoda AG88. Trey Grierson. It was you. We've been debating it all this time, but it was you.
Order!
Miss Aquila, explain yourself. Who are you accusing? The only person who fits all of the evidence. The person who raced Clara earlier that evening and was the last person to see her alive. Trey Gearson. Really, will you just say anything to exonerate your clients? I couldn't have been there. I was on a date, if you must know. Oh, really? You couldn't have eaten much if you were buying a hot dog just a bit later. Not that it's any of your business, but I was very hungry, yet the restaurant only served small portions. It wasn't a great wait. That's a lie. I eat at the Great Way very frequently, and the night that Clara died was their all-you-can-eat night. Oh, yeah? Yeah. In fact, tell me, Mr. Pearson, in the argument that the Rostro racers are having over sponsorship, Clara was totally against it. What side were you on? Fine, I will admit, as I can see that it's pointless to argue further. I did race Clara earlier in the evening, so you admit. Let me finish. Some time ago, I became aware that Clara intended to refuse corporate sponsorship for the Rostro Racers, and if you must know, I hated her for it. She was fine, sitting there at the top of her ivory tower with her inherited wealth, while the rest of us fought around in the dirt for table scraps. I built Gearson & Co., not figuratively, I literally laid the bricks on some of the buildings. She talked of romantic ideals of independence, but the rest of us live in the real world. Those days she talked about are coming to an end, and I wanted our racing family to persist. So you resolved this the only way you could, by challenging Clara to a race? That's right. I sent a message to Clara's phone early in the day, a message that Clara received while eating with Ryoko. Then, when I dropped off Clara's car via tow bar, we got into our cars and ended up at Rostro Vista. Once we were there, we started racing. Is he seriously about to admit to watch out? I think this will get worse before it gets better. But Clara eluded me. I eluded you, Mr. Gearson? I said earlier that Clara was a preeminent racer, and I was being truthful. Before we had even got halfway down the track, I lost sight of her. She was so far ahead, it felt pointless to even continue the race. Okay, hold on. So, the whole thing about the Aces race is that everyone was just, like, too close. But this guy's just saying that, no, man, Clara was no match for anybody. Like, Ryoko, I can tell because, you know, she's just describing the person she loves the most. So, in her eyes, like, she can do no wrong. But this guy? I pulled over and came to a stop. So this business with the other wheel, the license plate, it may have happened in a manner similar to your deductions, but I didn't see it. It seems a bit convenient, but okay. What did you do? I took some time to reflect on how things had gone, of course. By the time I pulled myself together, quite some time had passed. I'm not sure exactly how much. But I set off for the top of the mountain, and by the time I got there, Clara had returned and started the ace race. Why'd you lie about being at the Great Wave? I was embarrassed. Do you think I like admitting that I was beaten so soundly? Wait, so if Clara finished the race, how would she, like, get back there without passing him? So you see, Miss Aquila, no need for wheels or duplicate cards. Perjury, perhaps, and we'll deal with that later. Even your motive is weak if you're seriously implying that the witness killed Clara Mass. It's not dissimilar, in fact, to Hank's proposed motive, which we already dismissed this week when stood alone. Even if Mr. Gearson did race Clara earlier in the evening, there is no proof that he was involved with Clara's death. Occam's razor suggests it is simpler to assume that Clara died in the ace race. All of these other points are just mysteries you're dredging up to try and obscure your client's guilt. And on that note, the prosecution rests. Like, the thing is, why isn't there an autopsy being made on the body to determine the time of death? What? Particularly, like, if the death was, immediate, you know, like from the impact, you would know for sure. Because the earlier race happened hours before, like 2 hours or 3, I can't tell. If only there was something which connected Trey to the scene. But the tire, I know. It's not direct evidence. It would support another piece of evidence, but on its own, it's not absolute proof. Proof with these acts of perjury, that would probably end this even now. What could possibly connect Trey to a scene like that? Moment, Your Honor. It's quick. Okay. Let's start with the assumption that Clara went up the mountain with Trey. They passed Jasper on the way up and arrived up the mountain pass. Trey says Clara got away from him. Let's assume he's in telling the truth and see where we end up. What if Trey and Clara had an accident? Clara was killed. Trey would have panicked and of course happened with her clients. Your racing is just illegal. To assume the worst in his shoes. Yeah, it probably wasn't his intention. He probably just wanted to beat her. Doesn't matter all that much. Trey and Clara don't lie. They get close. Clara gets off the road and when it's all over. Clara's dead. Grim. Trey's car must have been part of the accident. How would you figure? This business over the wheels. Like, the evidence suggests that a wheel was exchanged. Just under death for fun. After the accident, one of the cars must have been good, save for a broken wheel, while the other one was the wreck that we saw at the crash site. Well, one of the cars later took apart. part in the ace race. He couldn't have been too damaged. Right, good point. Big Trey must have assumed that he could implicate the aces if he impersonated Clara in the race. We'll get to the ace race in a bit. Let's start the race first. So maybe after the wheel, that could have been when he removed the license plate. Kinda ingenious. He knew the disguise. The disguise, huh? But even if they take their master's hat or their master's cloak, what is it? I'm improvising. Dylan, I've got an idea and it's going to sound crazy, but stick with me. Till the end, but what is it? If Trey really did enter Ace Race as an imposter, what card did he use? Well, yeah, meets Yoda, age 88. It's $1 million impression, though. Which one? Mind running that by me one more time? So far, we assume that Trey put Clara's plate on his car and used that in the ace race. Why did we assume that? I don't know. It seemed a fair thing to assume. I mean, they're near identical, so why would you switch cars? You wouldn't. If you had a choice. Just now you said that both cars had to have been involved in the accident. Or Trey would have had no reason to change a wheel. He would have just taken the remaining pristine car and maybe swapped the license plate. I think I'm starting to get it. When we saw the car at the scene of the accident, it was pretty banged up. No one was going to be able to drive that car away. You needed a tow truck. Trey had to take the working car. What if that car was Clara's? But Clara died in an accident. Wouldn't the more damaged car naturally be hers? That's another assumption. Remember, Clara died to one single head trauma. It could have just been bad luck. People sometimes end up paralyzed from pranks and fender benders. So you're saying that Trey moved Clara's body into his car, which was badly damaged. Then took her keys, left his in the car to be found with Clara's body, and he fixed the only thing on Clara's car. A single busted wheel. A rear wheel, even, because that's where the mysterious other wheel came from. Wouldn't forensics have found Trey's print all over the car? He built those cars and maintained them regularly. His prints, hair, dead skin, all the Spade's car will be covered with them. The police have the car in which Clara was found over at the impound. So, are you seriously saying if this works, then that car at the impound isn't actually Clara's car at all? It's Trey's car. But the impound is all the way across town. How are we going to prove it's really Trey's car? And even if we had the time, how would we do that? We need a foolproof way to identify a specific car. Something practically unique. Something Trey doesn't know about and couldn't tamper with. It's the keys. I feel I've been generous enough. Your final remarks, please. It'll be brief, Your Honor. Anya would never have done this, but that doesn't matter. My style is good enough, and I'm gonna prove it. Your Honor, the defense asserts that Trey Gearson was in fact present when Clara Mass died. This happened during the earlier race. Here we go again. Ah, don't be ridiculous. You can't possibly prove anything of the sort. We believe that Mr. Gearson was forced to change a wheel by the accident and waited somewhere out of sight, before ending up at the top of the mountain via the side road to impersonate Clara in the ace race. Sylvain the Strong. Okay, Aquila, can you present one piece of evidence that could suggest that Trey was at the scene when Clara crashed? I can. Oh gosh. What? You see, Hawk, what's more important is that Mr. Gearson took away from the scene, because I believe that Mr. Gearson was forced to switch cars by the events of the accident. This is what led to the strange facts of the missing license plate and mysterious extra wheel. Hang on now, but if that were true, that would mean that the car in which Clara was found was actually Mr. Gearson's car. More than that, Your Honor. Deep breaths, Nina. You've got this. Mr. Gearson, how did you arrive at this courtroom today? I drove here. Wonderful. Your Mitsuyoda AG88 is parked just outside, right? That's right. Perfect. Where's the spare? Nina's car keys. Oh, sorry. Clara's spare keys. I was given these by a friend. They're Clara's spare car keys. And I think if I hold my arm high enough and get the handle on the remote just right. Bingo! Mr. Gearson. Why you? This isn't the best part of town. Would you care to use the keys in your possession to lock it again? Did he seriously just run out of my courtroom? Mr. Hawk, what is the meaning of this? Don't look at me. He's a witness. We didn't expect you would suddenly become a suspect. This is great. It is? Of course. This totally undermines Hawk's case. True. But isn't he driving away in our critical piece of evidence? Chad! What? Don't just stand there. Call the police. We can. But he's driving a high-performance racing car. You really think they're going to be able to catch him? I can't hand like this. Your Honor? Yes. Deputize me right now. Why? Figure it out. Oh, God. Trey! What the? You're not getting away. Beat it, lawyer. Tina, are you okay? I'm following Trey. He's trying to escape from the city. Maybe if I can catch him, we can end this. Holy fucking crap. Trey! Are you hurt? Just see me. Forget that. Are you hurt? Can you feel your fingers, your toes? Yeah, I can. I think I'm okay. Here comes Flatfoot. I'm going to get one chance at this. Trey is very important. Who is your sponsor? The woman you met at the parking lot. Who is she? I don't know. What? How can you... They approached me before Clara died and said they wanted me to try and beat her and win the ace race. Like Hank and the others, it was from an anonymous email address. But Clara knew. You're sure? Certain. Did she say anything to you? Anything at all? No. The only thing I can say is this. When the sponsor first emailed us, everyone was wondering how much money, what the terms would be, how it would affect us. But Clara was trying to answer an altogether different question. Why? Why? Why what? Why us? Why now? Why everything?
You think she was worried because she didn't get a proper answer?
No. I think she was worried because she did. But why do you care? What's it to you? Nina? I'll take it from here. Huh? Enjoy Florida, Jasper. Mr. Gearson, you have the right to remain silent. I am placing you under arrest on suspicion of the murder of Clara Mass. Today's events have certainly been fast and furious. Hey, Mr. Hawk? Yes. As Mr. Gearson has been taken into custody? Yes, Your Honor. Suck it, Chad. The city will arrange to try him at a later date. We're willing to work up specific charges, but I'm expecting that you will have some very difficult questions to answer concerning the death of Clara Mass. Your Honor, if I may speak on Travis' behalf, I believe that Clara's death really was an accident. You tried to implicate us, Ren. We almost took the fall. I just don't believe that Trey went up to the mountain that night with the intent to murder her. You strongly disagree with her, yes. They really were friends. If her death really was an accident, they must have panicked. I'll just ask what you think of his actions as those of a desperate man as opposed to a murderer. My opinion, this is some bullshit. This is some motherfucking bullshit. But that's just me. I had no idea that Ren was so, I don't know, chill. Noted, Mr. Ranson. However, that brings us on to an odd question. I still don't understand what happened during the actual ace race. Ditto. It's really confusing. I thought Clara passed us. I think. No, I'm also at a loss. I can explain that, I think. It's actually very simple. All three of you actually noticed something about Clara during the race, something that retrospectively makes sense. What did the aces notice about Clara? I guess she was driving a little weirdly. I suspected all along. Oh, buzz off, Keske. You were as in the dark as the rest of us. When all four of you started the ace race, the real Clara was sitting in Trey's car, further down the course. Trey hung back, and at the right moment, he turned off his headlights. At that moment, Jocelyn struck something. I can't quite prove this, but I believe it was the wheel that Ren brought into the courtroom earlier today. Then, all Trey had to do was take the side road and speed back up the top of the course. You three carried on, and when you found Clara, you assumed that she had somehow passed you and crashed. For us sitting here in this courtroom, it seems almost nonsensical, but in our collective heightened state, awash with adrenaline, was the only sensible explanation. So naturally, you all believed it. Discussing it among yourselves before Ryoko and Trey turned up, you made it real, at least for you. I can hardly believe it. It turned up with Ryoko. He looked us in the eye, knowing that we were going to take the fall. He was utterly convincing. It does kind of prove something, though. What? Things really aren't always what they appear to be. People can fake many things, but style will always reveal who someone really is. Style. Let's file that as one for later. When I see Trey next, I'll... Speak for yourself. If in all this I'm not angry, I kind of feel sorry for him. And on that note, Your Honor, the defense rests. Very good, Miss Aquila. Mr. Hawk, do you have anything to add? Only one thing. Surely hasn't got... Not that, Mr. Aquila. What the heck, Mrs. Aquila? You want to congratulate Dylan too? Don't push your luck. Very well.
Mrs. Aquila, as through interference,
All but proven, but that Clara died long before the defendants were close by. Therefore, on all charges, I find the defendants, and like this would have been immediately dismissed. Immediately dismissed. Had an autopsy been performed. So, I'm just like, what the fuck? Dude.
Not guilty.
Thank you. Hell yeah, he was Trey. Suspicious motherfucker. Daisy said we should meet them over at the Great Wave. You wanna head straight there? In a bit. Before we do that, can we shop at the office? Sure. Okay, fine. These we're heading straight to the restaurant, Ina. What are we doing back here? I had an idea during the trial. This will only take a minute. You sure? I don't know. But if it doesn't, then this will be the last time I watch security footage. Why is the screen black? Here we go. What was it that Kesko said? Style. Things really aren't always what they appear to be. I don't get it, just a guy wearing a baseball cap. That's right. It's a matter of style. He's wearing it in the wrong way around. Get backwards. Facial scar. Must have met him. No, he doesn't. What does that mean? It's simple. That man, whoever he was an imposter. Then we have to go see Chad Hawk's Boston right away. What is it, Nina? Surely this is the break in the case you've been waiting for? It is, but much as I hate to admit, this is a lead, not real evidence. If we go off half-cocked, we might lose our chance to convince the DA to open an appeal. We need to search for definitive evidence. Oh, and I was all fired up. Don't douse yourself yet. Huh? This is just a start. A lead is something we can unravel until we run out of thread. So, are we still going out for food with the aces? Sounds good. We're not going to find more clues about this when it's late at night, and we're exhausted from another case. Let's head out. Great. Come meet me by the door when ready. I think this is like the intro, or not intro, like the tease for chapter 4 when it comes out. Yes! Let's go in. Join the party! Kanpai, which is like cheers in Japanese. You guys seen any tuna yet? No, but I see plenty of salmon. Maybe you should order some. Ugh, fish makes me nauseous. Then why did you agree to come? I was outvoted. I wanted to go to the steakhouse downtown. There's got to be something you can eat. I swear I just saw a cheeseburger pass by us a few minutes ago. Might go for one of those myself. Seriously? This is a nice sushi place. What? I like cheeseburgers. Well, now that we're all here, Dina, I think I speak for everyone here when I say that we simply can't thank you enough. That's right. No one else had any idea about Trey's actions. How did you even figure it all out? For starters, it was a group effort. You should be thanking Dylan and Ren just as much as I. Plus, we had some help at the last minute, without which things would have gone differently. Help? From who? Jasper Frank. He turned up at our office late last night. That old cook? He totally hates us. It was weird, always skulking around, picking up trash, telling us to park better, giving us aggro. Seems weird he would even get involved. I wonder why Jasper decided to help. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he knows anything about Toge Jenkin racing. Oh, I'm not so sure. What? Seriously? Yeah, years, literally years, and he never said a word. From what I understand, the 1981 incident brought mountain racing into disrepute. Almost ended it once and for all. Plus Jasper, if he is responsible, lost a close friend, a rival ace. I can't be totally certain, but I made a career out of connecting up the dots. Jasper said that Clara knew him, and I think this is what he meant. So you're saying, Jasper Frank was the very first Joker. Well, I'm starving. Wait up, I've got a few questions myself. Firstly, who is Joker now? Did you guys figure it out? We decided it should be Hank. He seems sensible. Aw, shucks guys. Hank has a vision for how we're going to move forward as a family. So you're accepting the sponsorship? Not right away. Clara obviously had some personal beef with the sponsor, whoever they are. Doing something like that is important for securing the roster racer's future. I don't know what form it's going to take. My goal is to see us from a professional racing team. Some form of sponsorship is going to be involved in that. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck. Hi. Hey. Ryoko. Awkward. You gonna eat with us, Ryoko? No. I just wanted to... Oh, come on, Ryoko. Have something to eat with us. Sorry, but I'm not quite there yet. It's okay, Ryoko. We respect that. But I'm happy that everything worked out. I just wanted to let you guys know that. Do you want Clara's keys back? No. There's no need. They're just the keys to a car that never belonged to me. they'll bring you luck. Guys, Clara's funeral is the day after tomorrow, and afterwards I'm gonna head out of town for a few weeks, but I'll be back. Actually, we had something we wanted to talk to you about. Kiska, do you want to tell her? Oh, it's not my place. You should, Hank. Okay. Ryoko, when you come back, we'd like you to do so as a new ace of spades. How about it? Wow. I don't know what to say. Say yes! I guess I could give you guys a run for your money. That's the spirit. Enough talk, I'm starving. Food first and lucky voice. Lucky voice? It's a karaoke bar. With an all-you-can-drink policy, sounds like my kind of party. I think I'll pass. I got some attorney stuff to take care of to wrap everything up. Oh, then you should go with them, Dylan. You sure? You okay? It's fine, really. Sure. I'll do karaoke with you guys, but we warn, I can't sing. None of us can. May have dodged a bullet there. Have a great time, guys. Oh, that gives me an idea. Ryoko, darling, before you leave, Hank, you scooch in there. Hank, get your elbow out of my... That's Joker Hank to you. Ooh, boy. Jocelyn, crouch down a bit. Like this? Okay, say California rolls. Aww. They kind of use the same sprites, but we can ignore that. Stay here, okay? I'll be right back. Don't go. Stay with her, okay? That's it. Oh. How could I have forgotten? Or maybe I just didn't want to remember. She was there on that day, and everything changed. When she was the last person I've ever saw. The very last thing I ever saw. Next time, stop, foul beast. Your evil will never take root in this world. This is a move. By the power of Sacred Feather, I will punish you. Valkyrie, transform! It's like Sailor Moon. Cut. Was that okay? Fantastic, Milia. As always. No need to lay onto fake Sarah. Just a location test. I'm serious. You're a natural. You nail every single take. The show's gonna be awesome. I can see it. Valkyrie, Sacred Feather. How'd you get so good anyhow? Practice place. Was this location for the fight scenes really your idea? They said that they wanted somewhere industrial and remote, so it seemed like a good fit. It's great, so grimy and drab. It will make the bright colors of your final costume really pop by comparison. Sarah, are we good? Yeah, I think we have everything we need for today.
I mean, all we wanted was some footage of
Amelia in the location to compare to the other sides of auditions. And I think we've got that and then some. You wanna ride back? It's okay, I've got my motorbike nearby. See you Monday morning? Looking forward to it. Safe trip home. You too. Okay, we're out. Let's back it up. Still around here, I can sense it. Sure yourself. What the hell? What the fuck? Foolish Valkyrie. The city will kneel at the feet of the great Malfara. Not today. By the powers of Sacred Feather, Valkyrie... transform. Let's rumble, dog breath. Okay, but is that part of the move or what? Hey, Anya, we're shooting in 5 minutes. Oh, so they do need me after all. Anya, we talked about this. You're not going to have lines every single episode. Easy for you to say. The whole show's named after you. Do I smell liquor? Have you been drinking? Just some tequila. You want some? Yes. If I gotta keep wearing this hand-me-down bunny girl outfit. Guys, the director wants to get this party started. Our party started about an hour ago, Goggle Boy. Is she? A little. Then are you? Not as much. The show must go on though, am I right? Hello. Welcome to Aquila Channel, a special viewer-facing segment where we talk to you, the viewer player. Today's chapter was themed around several things, most notably the street racing manga and anime genre. Attentive fans of these shows will doubtless have noticed some similarities, given the cars present in game and some of the properties attributed to them are parodies of real-world cars. I can't talk, sorry. Slayamina's car was an extra special reference. Did you spot it? Chapter 3's twist was inspired by the fourth stage of Initial D. In that show, there's a scene where a character encounters a mysterious car with darkened windows, but not the familiar driving style. No spoilers! The point was that a car could also be a disguise, and this seemed like a cool idea to build upon. However, we knew that if we were going to take on the illegal street racing genre, we need to allow the player to actually race. The version in the final game is actually the third prototype of the racing system, the end of a process which, on its own, took around 3 months to develop. This was inspired in concept by Tactics Formula, a Japanese exclusive game for the Sega Saturn, in which racing is handled in RPG-like terms. Though not only still junkie and racing took this in a very different direction. Of course, 2G racing is actually a real thing, not just something seen in anime. Though in animated form, it tends to be depicted like in sports anime. And like any sports anime, it's heavily dramatized. Toge, or Toge, means pass, as in mountain pass, and has its root in illegal mountain road racing. Due to the success of Initial D, it has a strong association with the mountain roads of Gunma-ken, in the Kanto region of Japan, particularly... Oh, there's a typo, particularly. The town of Haruna, which has been part of nearby Takasaki. Goodness me, Takasaki since 2006. Additionally, we wanted a story where Nina, having found some confidence in Chapter 2, would find strength in her own unique style, both in and out of the car. Wait, as a lawyer, should Nina really have been engaging in illegal street racing? Probably best not overthinking. Chapter's story drew on all of those elements. Toge racing anime, using a car disguise, and the desired fine face in one's own unique style. Of course, these are just the main threads of the plot. A lot of other stuff was packed in there too. Okay, so that's chapter 3 out of the way. On to news. First, we want to thank all of our followers, friends, and supporters. In particular, we would like to thank the members of the Nale Discord. If you want to join Discord, you can find the link in the game's title screen. Nale also now has its own Twitter page. There's a link on the game's title screen to that too. We're going to be hosting more giveaways via Twitter, so make sure to follow if you're a fan. The Nale T public store has a wide range of merch, including hoodies and mugs. Sales of merch are funneled directly into paying for more TVs, sprite art, and other features for future chapters. And this is a biggie. I want to do a shout out to Rachel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Rachel Messer, Nina's voice actor. Rachel comes to Nale from an extensive background in anime and video game voice acting. Now it's time for us to sign off, but before we go, Chapter 4 is going to be a magical adventure with mysteries, secret identities, intrigue, and magical girls. So if you like this third chapter of Nina, Aquila, Legal Eagle, Noller, make sure you look us up and follow us for more news about Chapter 4, Sacred Feathers. Hey, Anya, hey, you okay? Look, I know you didn't get any lines this time around, but the next chapter, oh, upon reflection, I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see you in skimping magical girl get up. Huh, the magical girl's gonna be the defendant, or maybe the victim. The details are kind of fluid right now. Yeah, well, in chapter 3, the victim was a street racer. How did that work out? With these fights? Bring it on. How skimpy are we talking? Who says she's the only one, Dylan? I'll be in the gym. Alright, guys, so this was a fun journey. I liked the game. I liked the soundtrack. I liked the cases. I liked the how can I say? Alright, so first of all, please excuse me, it's like 1:30 a.m., which means that I should be in bed ages ago. But let's pretend that isn't the case. So yeah, the game is fun. I like the visuals. I think the script is well written. There's some typos, but that doesn't bother me. Being a fan of Japanese culture, there's a lot of things in this game that appeal to me. So I guess I'm kind of like, you know, like, because I have a law school background, and these types of I'm gonna say topics, like legal system, how things work, and like what is the mindset that a lawyer should have, whether you're defending someone or you're prosecuting someone. I think it's super cool to have Nina being like, it's not about whether my client is innocent or guilty. It's not about you know, do I think this person did it? Do I think this person deserves what's coming? It's more of protecting and helping that person to let's say, like, it's to ensure that your client is treated fairly and has a fair chance at a fair trial, and has a fair chance at a fair sentence, if that's what comes out of the trial and proceedings and whatnot. And even guilty people deserve, by law, it's their right to be treated fairly. Like, let's say someone steals something, but another robs the same thing. But the difference between stealing, like, when you steal something, you're not using violence. When you're robbing someone or something, there is violence, like physical violence or coercion involved. And so in this case, it's fair that the sentence given to the robber is heavier than the sentence given to the person who stole, because the person who stole didn't use violence, and the robber stole and used violence to do so. So again, even though both parties, let's say both individuals, are guilty of doing something against the law, of taking something that did not belong to them, one of them did not use violence and therefore deserves to have a lesser sentence. So I'm just trying to give an example of how important and crucial really
A lawyer is. And here's the thing,
whatever scenario you find yourself in, get a lawyer to get proper counseling and proper representation. No matter what the case is, you really should not represent yourself in court or whatever. And my advice is don't offer testimony without having a lawyer present. Just, for your sake, for everyone to be involved, that whatever you're saying cannot be used against you because you're not aware of what certain words mean legally. Because legal terms have very specific meanings, and some of those terms are using like a regular conversation, and you're thinking you're saying something, but in legal terms it means something else, and there's no need for you to get into extra trouble just because of that. Alright, but focusing on the game, like I was saying, I really like it. I think the third chapter probably has the most interesting story, the most, on a personal, like character development for Nina, but also like the whole mystery, the whole, like, I really like the reveal, getting piece by piece. It felt challenging at some points, and I really appreciate that. And the game is not punishing, and I really appreciate that as well. It's a good contrast to the Ace Attorney franchise. But I didn't find the street racing minigame fun, and I think there's too much of that in this chapter. So yeah, the minigame is my complaint with this chapter. I have no idea if I'm alone in this criticism, but it is how I feel. In regards to chapter 4, I have no idea when that will come out, but I'll definitely be interested in playing if it ever comes out and I just become aware of it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I had a blast with the games, honestly. It feels good to, I don't know, to just have contact a little bit with Japanese culture and, playing something about, lawyers, crimes, courts, deduction. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know, I felt at home. I'm not gonna be a lawyer. I'm not gonna work in anything law related. I feel very happy and fortunate with my career in IT. I'm a support engineer, and I feel very happy with my career. But I don't know, it felt really good. It felt really good to role play a little bit of being in court. Alright guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this was enjoyable. You can find this game on Steam, although I got this game in the charity bundle from HIO. Sorry for yawning. I really need to hit the bed, and I'll see you soon.